Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, I'm just up having coffee. I've been up now for like an hour. I called my friend, he's still asleep. So I was like, maybe some of my subs and stuff is up. Of course, y'all know I have to get up and meditate and drink. I'm used to getting up anyway early for work. My dogs get me up now, they are asleep. My puppies are my alarm clock, anyways, during the week because Ranger is my alarm clock during look, they know their names too during the week because they wake me up every morning to go out at like 5:30, something like that. Then I just make my coffee. I can never go back to sleep. And then I just take my shower and get on to work or go on to my first case or whatever. Get out in the field. um, hey, the Black Barbie, Fox, Diane, Joy Loves God, Vox Millet. Is that Vox Mills? Y'all, it's nice. Y'all know I normally do not like it when it gets cold, but it's so nice. Y'all, I was up meditating this morning, just thanking God for everything. Next week is such a festive week for me. Um, I start the second half of the semester. Um, of course, I'm excited about going to a conference next week for prosecutors and investigators. And um and then a dream come true. All in one week. Everything all in one week. God is awesome. Morning wifey type tea. I'm at Waffle House before I go. I love the Waffle House. Why you ain't tell me where you be going fishing at? I did not get a chance to go fishing this year. Where you be going fishing at? I remember when I was growing up, I used to go fishing with my grandma and my great aunts and my mama. And sometimes my dad would go. Listen, y'all, my mama, I remember one time we went fishing. We used to go to like Lakeview and there was another lake. And so it was this little bitty tiny fish that kept getting my mama's bait because we use canes. I don't like to use those. I needs me a cane. And don't y'all know my grandmama and my granddaddy canes are still in their outhouse? My granddad had been dead for 21 years. And my grandmother has been dead for 14 years. And their fishing poles are still out there. I was like, I wonder if they dry rotted. My mama be keeping them. I'll never throw them away or anything like that, but I need me a cane. I got to fish with a cane. I was looking at Amazon. Don't y'all know I was some canes like $200 when we used to stop at like those old little country stores when we was going down there to go fishing, and those canes were like 7, 8, $10. So I need me a cane so I can fish. You and his child, I'm in South Haven eating and going. That's my favorite Waffle House in South Haven. I love that Waffle House. I like the Waffle House better than I do IHOP. I like the Waffle House. I don't like pancakes. I like waffles. It's weird because they're the same thing. I like them hard. Pancakes are soft. I like hard. I like crunchy. Um, I'm gonna go to Shelby Farms and go fishing. It's getting. I might could get to fishing before it gets real cold. If not, I'm definitely going next spring, and I'm gonna take my mama. My mama legs. and stuff has not my mama's legs has been messed up. I was looking at something for her yesterday so she could start exercising her legs, until they they're strong again. Well, they're strong, but just start exercising her legs. Um that's what I'm getting one of the things I'm getting her for Christmas. Um I've been looking at some stuff that I want to Christmas gifts. I ordered my sister's gifts this morning because I know she likes some of the same stuff I like, and I saw where they had a 40% off sale. So I was like, I'm gonna get this for my sister, one for my two, well, for my and same thing for my daughters. And I got them some jogging suits too. Y'all know Donna Karen is one of my favorites. And I was thinking, I was like, what can I get what can I get okay, my mods. Cause I still got this wine and stuff in the box for my mods. I got to send my mods their wine, and I was looking at something. Y'all know when on 40% sales. Um, but I like I was looking at something, and I like cleansers, and I love the upkeep of the skin and all of that. And I was like, well, I don't know if everybody has sensitive skin. So some people might have sensitive skin, but I use that vegan stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to decide on that what I'm gonna get my mods. Christmas, I love Christmas and Thanksgiving, but I love to give gifts more than I love to receive gifts. I do. I love to give gifts. And I tell when my kids ask me, I be mad when my kids give me a gift card because last year my oldest daughter gave me a gift card for like $200, I believe, or 250 or something like that. I was pissed because she didn't put no thought in it. Like I tell them, I don't want no clothes because I got too many clothes and shoes. Like, give me something for my office, like something I can hang in my office or I like for it to be thoughtful. Like, get me a even if they went and got me like a voucher to go get a massage and to go get my toes done, um, something like that. If they put thought in, like, Mama, we went here and got you a gift card to get your toes done, got you a gift card to go get your massage. That makes me happy. But if you go just get a plain old credit card and give me 250, that pisses me off. Because I put a lot of thought in my gifts. I do. I put a lot of thought in them. Um, Memphis 10 says last weekend was wine on the river. I wanted to invite you because it was packed out with all the women, maybe 10% men. Wine on the river. It must have been on the, I didn't even know that. It must have been on the other side. They have a lot of stuff going on over there. I saw because I saw they had yellow, and I almost went to that where you wear all yellow, and I was like, I'm gonna tell you what I do love, and I would like um when they have I love when they have yoga on the river. When they have yoga on the river, it's so perfect. I love it because I just walk out of my house and go over there. I love it so much. Like I love stuff like that. Yoga on the river. I be telling people it's so therapeutic, you know, to the water. I remember one day I was walking because I like to walk and meditate by the water. And I was walking. I've always loved to live by the water and lakes. And so I was walking and there was these two white ladies. And I don't know what they was doing. I had my puppies. And I was like, whatever they're doing, because they was breathing in and breathing out. And I was like, hello. Could you tell me what you all are doing? And they was like, well, we're meditating. It's a form of like meditation and all of that. I said, can I sit down and do it? They looked at each other. They was like, I was like, I know I got all these puppies, but can I sit down and meditate? Can y'all show me what y'all are doing? It was like, yeah, sure. It was so therapeutic. And then like afterwards, like after without even getting up, like the breathing exercise and everything. And then she was like, now just lay out and listen to the water and meditate. Oh my God. I felt so good after I got up. I don't even know what they was doing. My mama said, you crazy. You stop random people. I was like, whatever they was doing, it just seemed like it was therapeutic. And I wanted to do it too. I love yoga on the river. I love yoga on the river. Hey, John Brown. He said, good morning, Tamara. Miss Tamara going out now, but do you have any updates on the Young Dog case in regard? You know what? I'm going live early because I'm going to do a live tonight. I owe my members a live, so I'm doing a members live tonight. And I was trying to decide on if I should make it gold and platinum. I be very careful about what I say now, John, because you don't want to what's the word that I'm looking for? You don't want to give the enemy too much information to give them the opportunity to start strategizing. Hey, I've known it all the time, but I wanted to be in the past, I want to be more upfront so that people would know, listen, hey, it's all working out, you know. But now I've always known, and this is something that they even taught I've known it when they taught us in the academy. The sneak attack is the best. Nothing beats an ambush. Okay, so hey, I think an ambush is worth it. They ambush young Dolph. Okay, and I think the favor will be returned sooner or later. He says, Memphis 10 says, yes, Memphis yoga on the river. You need some. I love Zales jewelry. I love Zales jewelry. You know what? I've gotten some things from Kay's, but Kay's jewelry is nothing like Zales jewelry. Kay's jewelry is nothing like Zales jewelry. I love Zales. I love tennis bracelets. I've always loved bracelets, tennis bracelets. Hey, Angel, the real boss. Diane says she loved to fish. Listen, Diane a country girl too. I am too. I love to fish. I know how to clean fish. I know we used to gut them. So we used to cut, like slit the side because they already be dead. Y'all know I'm way more sensitive to animals now as I've gotten older. But they would be dead because we put them in the cooler and they just be flopping and flopping and flopping until it was over. Now I'll never forget one time my great auntie caught a catfish, because when they caught a catfish, they called, I got a cat. I mean, that was like they loved it when they caught catfish. And one time the catfish was not dead. It was still flipping. And I think about that. I was like, oh Lord, my auntie just like the Lord Jesus. And she was pulling the skin off of it in the sink, and the tail was still moving. I said, oh Lord Jesus. I know that. I think about that now as an adult. I know that fish was in pain. I be getting sad, even though I was like 11 years old. But we caught mostly brims bass, whiting. That's why when I saw some whiting in Kroger, I bought some. And it was so disgusting. I was like, this couldn't be whiting. It's so fishy. And the whiting that we caught in the lake tastes nothing like that. And we called was it called crockett? Are they called crockett? That's what we call. Now, my mom and them used to say that the bass fish, they were a little bigger than the brims. They were, my mom, they all taste the same to me, but they was like the bass fish ain't as good. But I remember one time my mama, this little bitty brim fish, it was a baby. And y'all know my mama ain't no cusser or nothing, right? I've heard my mama cuss maybe a few times in my life. She's never been a cusser because she never. Yeah. Oh, the brims are so good. So my mama was like, this little bitty fish kept eating my mama's worm up off of her hook. And it kept eating the worm. And so every time my mom would pull the cane, the worm would be gone. And so I remember my mama saying, I'm going down to the other end of the lake. This punk of a fish keep eating my bait. It's a punk of a fish. And then I think either later on, because it was so light, it was a baby. And so I think either later on I caught the fish or my grandma caught the fish. Because my grandma said, look here, girl, I done caught the fish that's been whooping your ass. Because you know my grandma's a big cusser. She told my mom, she said, I done caught the fish that's been whooping your ass. Now you can come on back down here. We used to have so much fun fishing. It was therapeutic. I loved it. Oh, it's called crappie. Okay, because my great aunts and stuff, they were so country. I thought they were saying crockett. When it comes to fishing, y'all women be late. I'm telling you, and we used to sit there. We used to stop at the country store and get liver cheese, rag bologna, hot sauce, pickle sauce. We'd sit there and eat with the vanilla wafer cookies. And we sit there and wait, and we would go early in the morning and fish. We get there like 6 or 7, and then my aunt them would say by 1 or 2, well, the fish, they ain't biting no more because they've already eaten. Once my auntie and them used to be mad because sometimes if we got there early enough, the people that own the lake, she caught the man feeding the fish. I think we used to have to pay $3 to fish. And then we caught him feeding the fish one time. Crappie. Oh, it's crappie. Okay. Crappie. Okay. They were good. And so whenever I got pregnant, I wanted to go fishing. And when I was pregnant, I craved fish and French fries and spaghetti. So when I was pregnant, I used to like to go. I didn't like to buy fish from anywhere else. I like to go fishing, catch the fish, and my grandma and my mama cook the fish. I like caught fish. So I remember one time we were sitting out there. We had because I was like, it was like the end of the summer. I had my baby, my first baby in like July. And we were sitting out there, and so my grandma, I was like, well, I want to catch enough so we can freeze them so we won't have to come fishing again because it was hot. It was like in June. It wasn't the end of the summer. It was like June. It'd be hot in June. So it was right before I went in to have my baby. And so my grandma and them was tired. It was like past 2:00. They didn't like sitting out there that long because they was like, fish ain't going to be biting no more anyways. And I was like, well, mama, I want to catch enough so we can freeze them so I can have enough fish to eat because that's really all I could eat. And so my grandma said to me, my grandma said, well, she didn't know how to say snakes. She said slakes with the SL, slakes. She said, well, you better be worried. You looking around because them slakes out here bad. I said, I hadn't seen any snakes out here. She was like, well, you pregnant and you got that milk in your breast. They could smell that milk. She said, so what the snakes what they try to do is when women pregnant, They try to slide up to the women, and they either try to get up under your shirt to suck that milk out your breast, or try to go in your mouth down your throat to try to get that milk. I jumped up running. I said, I'm ready to go. I flew to a car. I guess that was her way of getting me off the lake. And my grandma traumatized me. Um, the best time to go fishing is before the sun comes out and when it goes down. They hide whenever it's not sunlight. We used to have a lot of kids in my grandma's house. I mean, it was my great grandma's house. My great aunts and them was there. When we would go fishing, it would be so many of us. You talking about all my cousins, all of like my grandma, my all my great aunts, my mama. We would take all the fish back to my great aunt's house down there around Tulane. And it would be like even the kids on the street would be coming in eating fish. My auntie would be frying all their fish and stuff. I mean, that was a lot of fish because it was about 20 of us, and we got full too. The best time to go. I love fishing. It's therapeutic. So the way that what we used to do is my grandma and my aunts would check it. Like when us kids we went and we caught fish, so we have to take the knife and slit the fish belly open and then gut the fish out. And my auntie and my grandma and them would check it to make sure we had cleaned them real good. We had to scale them. We had a scale where we would scale them real good. My auntie would say, make sure it's real smooth. So we had to scale the fish. We'll take them and start scraping it. Sometimes we have to have a knife to scrape them. And then we would gut them. And then my auntie would wash them, and my auntie would put meal on them and then put them in the skillet. I get to thinking about them now. They eyes and stuff was still on them. They would look so sad. The fish, they would look so sad. I bet it was sad to make those fish suffocate like that in that cooler, wasn't it? But they were so good. We put hot sauce on them. Eat spaghetti. Um, I don't think Lakeview open anymore. I think the lake dried up. Then Aqua Butler, is it Aqua Butler or Uncle Butler? Didn't that lake dry up too? I don't think we ever went to Uncle Butler. Was it Uncle Butler or Aqua Butler? Is it Aqua Butler or Uncle Butler? The lake. Did it dry up? Because I remember like my dad and them used to take us down there to swim. I think it dried up, didn't it? Every fisher I get go to Binghamton and give it away to the hood so they can gut it, clean it, and fry them. These kids need to learn how to fish. They don't have any survival skills. They don't know how to. It's Aqua Butler. Hey, Michael 60. So a lot of these kids don't have any survival skills. If they don't know how to go fishing and catch fish, they don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to clean them, gut them. All they know how to do is go spend their money and get somebody else to do it. They don't know how to plant food. They don't know how to garden. None of that. No type of survival skills. Greens is one of the easiest things that you can plant. And that's something that a lot of older Black people used to plant for, especially for food. And that's how I know, because I be looking back there and my grandma had a green patch back there that my granddaddy made for her. And the greens that my grandma and them used to grow, they taste a lot different than the greens in the store. The cucumbers look different because we grew cucumbers. The peppers taste better. Um, like the cucumbers that they have in the store now, I think they put some coloring on it, because the cucumbers that you organically grow, because my grandma grew some, they were bigger, they were not as green. That's right. All they know is DoorDash. So and the cucumbers that you organically grow is just way more flavorful. So I'm gonna tell you what I used to do with cucumbers. Dip them in vinegar. I still do. I take a cucumber. My grandma used to grow tomatoes too, but it was hard for her to grow tomatoes because the squirrels used to go bite a hole in them and eat them and steal them and go back up in the tree. Um, but tomatoes, but she would when she could get some good tomatoes back there, she made fried green tomatoes. But cucumbers we used to chop up and put in vinegar and salt. I guess that's almost like a pickle, right? Everywhere I go. Are you from up out of Binghamton? Memphis 10? You're from Binghamton? Yeah, a pickle. So those were the good old times. We had fun growing up. I remember like, and I was telling my mama, I was like, she don't ever need to take down that clothesline in the back of the house. I be thinking about this sometimes. Like sometimes when I was growing up, when our dryer would go out, you don't have houses that have clotheslines back there anymore. We could always go back there and put the clothes on. I would go back there with my grandma if the dryer would go out, and while we was waiting to get a new dryer, go back there and be hanging the clothes on the line. I used to love to do that with my grandma and let them dry. And every time I look back there um at that clothesline, I be thinking about my grandma. It's my mom talking about that thing is coming up. It's so rusty and stuff. And I was like, what if I have somebody to like update it or something? I don't want that clothesline to be gotten rid of because I I'm reminded of my grandma every time I look at it. You never know when her dryer might go out. Your family is off Pope Street. Okay. I think it's a farmer over in Orange Mound. And I know because I interviewed them. And what they do is they have a farm, they have a garden where they plant everything and they was teaching the kids how to plant. Now, I had a case over there, Orange Mound, probably about a week or so ago. Okay. And I rolled past there. Now I don't know what they got going on because and who live over there in Orange Mound? Because I don't want to say nothing bad about them folks. Because they was cool. Eh, eh, what they doing with that? Because I mean, maybe they growing some corn because the tree the stuff was so tall. I mean, I don't think they could be growing this corn or marijuana. Lord have mercy. Um, Clotheslines only need to be sanded down and repainted. That's what I thought, and it'll be just like new again. Yeah, who in here from over in Orange Mound? Y'all, what are they doing over there with that? Are they still teaching the kids how to garden over there at that farm, that little garden where they grow organic vegetables and all of that? Because are they? Because I thought when you're gardening, you're supposed to keep the weeds and stuff down. I mean, not unless it's a cornfield now. I don't know. I guess it ain't nobody in here from Orange Mound because I want to know. I won't let my mother throw away that bench. My grandma bought a bench. Like when we would have family reunions, like every year, like a family member would have to cook for everybody because it would be 3 days. So my grandma bought a bench back in the 90s. They probably don't even make benches that strong anymore. That bench has been back there and it was white and now it's the color and stuff off of it, but it's still you can go sit on it and you're not gonna fall. It's sturdy, it don't rock. It's a bench table. I loves it. It needs to be painted. I'm gonna show you. I bet they don't even make wood like that no more. I bet it's real wood. I don't think they use real wood and stuff for stuff like that now. Let me see. Oh my God. They selling this stuff for $1,400. My grandma done paid $300 for that bench. Lord. And it's real wood. It's white though. Oh wow. I mean, but I guess everything would be a lot more expensive from the 90s. I like to keep stuff. My granddad is 10 speed is still back there. The yard is so big. He used to ride his 10 speed from one end of the yard to the next. And it's funny because it's still back there. That's something. I think 10 speeds used to cost like the most like 100. A real big one used to be like 200. Now they paying 13, 14, $1,500 for 10 speed, like for 12 speeds or whatever you call them. Like, wow. Lord. It's something. I get to thinking about the good old days, and they were some good old days. Like we used to wish to be older and grown and stuff. I would love to take a trip back down memory lane. It's a good thing that we have memory, where we could think about that stuff. But families were a lot closer. Like as the older people started to grow out, die out. That's why I'm so glad that my family still have family reunions every year. I've been trying to get them, but the older people don't want to do it. I'm talking about the older people that's still alive in my family. I was like, why don't we have a family reunion in a different state every year? Now, what they have been doing is like we got family in Kansas and we got family in Pennsylvania. So they've started rotating. It used to just be Memphis and Indiana. Like I said to them, why don't we just go to a different state? Therefore, we could show the kids the world. Y'all get a chance to see the world, see different states and stuff. Let's do it. Nah, we don't want to do that. They don't want to do it. They're creatures of habit. They don't want to do it. So next year, the family reunion gonna be right back in boring old Memphis. So it's like, why don't you be on the committee? Why would I want to be on the committee to do a family reunion in Memphis? I'll let the people that's been doing it do it. And they already pissing and moaning and fighting. They can keep that. They want to do everything in East Memphis. That pisses me off because East Memphis is just as bad, if not worse, than anywhere else in Memphis. Like we could do some. Like I know a lady that rent out a place in Westwood, and is very nice. Uh I can't understand how a bunch of damn hood boogers anyways, ghetto hood boogers is gonna think that they too good for Westwood. It's my family I could talk about. So I was like, well, the banquet, I know somebody, I got a hookup somewhere in the Whitehaven area. I said, why don't we have the banquet there? Well, I probably since they want to do it in East Memphis, I ain't going. So that's how I'll do it because that pisses me off. Like I make recommendations, I get a discount so that we won't have to pay as much, take up as much money. And they got the nerve to think East Memphis is better than Whitehaven. That pisses me off. What's up, Stan G? So I said, I tell you what, I ain't going. I'm not gonna even go to the banquet since my cousins want to do it like that. My mama said I am going, but I say I'm not going. What's going on, Stan G? What's the word? He said a bike worth some money. Keep it. Yeah, we have not gotten rid of it at all. And my granddaddy passed away in 2004. He says all you have to do is get it, sand it. Yeah, my mom said I'm gonna get that clothes. I said, do not remove that clothesline, lady. Every time I look at that clothesline, I see myself. I remember being back there with my grandmother, hanging clothes when the dryer would go out, and I used to love to hang clothes. Stan G, you still in here? What's the word? What's going on? What's going on in the Memphis streets? He said he wanted to do Christmas in New York or Miami one day. Well, New York is beautiful. It'd be real cold though. I got some friends from out of Florida, and I call them around Christmas time. Like, what's the weather looking like? Girl, it's like 89. And they be wanting to like they be like, we dream of like we want to come to the South for Christmas. Why would you want to do that? Because we want to experience the cold weather, the snow, all of that. They be wanting to come to the South when it's cold and it's snow down. I'm like, that's so weird. Because they have that 80-degree weather and stuff in Florida around Christmas. But 70 something degree weather is perfect to me. They turns on the heater. What my friends do, they like, girl, it's cold in Florida today. How many degrees is it? Girl, it was like 72 in my house. We had to turn the heater on. Are you serious? That's perfect. That is not cold. I ain't turning no heater on for no 72. He says CEO and Pooh, CEO Jizza and Pooh snitch situation. What kind of snitch situation? What happened? Somebody snitched on them. Who snitched on them? Oh, New York is beautiful. I love New York. I haven't been to New York in a few years and I miss it. But I have to go in the summertime because it be cold. And it's not good to go in May because it be cold in May. Because I've gone in May and it was cold. If you're gonna go to New York, it's best to go in July or August. Because it might be cold in June. And I'm gonna tell you something about the New Yorkers, like they're rude, but they're very like fascinated with like the southern drawl and the hospitality of like the southern people. Once they see listen to your accent and see you from somewhere else and you stop them, excuse me, sir, can they be fascinated? Like you're not from around here. And then they'll talk to you. They'll tell you, okay, well, you go here, here, there, there. They'll be really nice to you. When me and my friend Kia went one year, um New Jersey was doing that was weird, was doing some we were like in downtown around Times Square, and New Jersey police, I kid you not, was doing some overtime. And my friend Kia, we was looking for somewhere, and my friend Kia was like, "Excuse me, sir." He said, "What did you say?" She said, "Excuse me." He said, "You couldn't be from around here because they don't talk like that." He said, "Do you know the things that they call us? They would never say sir." But when they go to New York, when I go to all the times I've gone to New York, I've never gotten the opportunity to go to all of the floors on Macy's. I always get stuck either on the clothing floor or on the shoes. I always get stuck on those floors. Everything comes out there first, so it's always a lot cheaper. We have to have everything shipped back. Um and I love it. I love New York. But my friends, when I would go with them, they would always like to go to Harlem to buy that, off-brand, off-brand perfume. I don't mean no harm because I think even then they was paying like $30 and it was supposed to smell exactly like the perfumes that you, like the Chloe, the whatever it is that you like. And when I would smell that perfume, I could tell the difference. I never would buy it. They would be racking up, girl, it's cheap. You get it for $30. I'm like, no, I'm gonna just go on to Macy's and get my perfume. Why would I pay $30 for some off-brand perfume when I can pay 65 or something for the real thing and it ain't got I could tell the difference. Mm, mm, mm. I never bought it. Um, yep. Stan G, who snitched on Jizzle and Pooh Shiesty? Who snitched on him? Moneybag? He said, "I'll keep you warm." I'm gonna tell y'all what I one of the things that I am gonna do that's on my goals list. For some reason, I've always wanted to go to Rhode Island because I hear the seafood there is really good. I want to take a trip and I want to go to Rhode Island, to Maine, to Boston. Rhode Island to Maine to Boston. I know it. I met an investigator. He's the best. Brooklyn. Yeah, I like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is very nice. I like Brooklyn. Um, I met he's a private. He say he's a private investigator. That's what he say. But he um he lives in Maine, and he is one of the best, whatever he is out there. He say that he's a private investigator. Now, I don't know a lot of private investigators because there are rules and stipulations on things that you shouldn't do. It's some that play real dirty because they have them special skills, because a lot of them come from different backgrounds, so they got those special skills. He don't like to be called a private investigator, but I've hired him. I've had to contract out some stuff from him, and it's a lot of stuff that he do that I would think that a private investigator wouldn't be able to do. Okay, and he does work for Chris Hansen on that show, How to Catch a Predator. That's there, but he's I get to asking him about his background. He's real vague. And there's another investigator from out of Boston that I asked him one day. I said, why would you become? What made you become an investigator?" And how I met him was I ended up they ended up calling me to they had some work in Memphis that they needed done, right? And I'll never forget, he had that Boston voice, and he was like, "Okay, I'm doing some work for this attorney." I get scared of those dudes up there. I kid you not. "I got some work for this attorney," and he was like, and he's a big shit attorney from out of New York. And even his people call me. It's like his people gonna call you, and they don't want to call you and talk to you. And the guy called me to fill me out. It's like almost like some mob shit, right? And he was like, "We're trying to find this girl because she took a lot of money. She had taken, like, I don't know. It was like it might have been like up like a couple millions or something." And he was like, yeah, and so we're trying to find her. And he said, "And we'll pay you. We'll pay you. You work on this, we'll pay what needs to be paid." And he says, "We don't care if it's 10,000, we don't care if it's 15,000. We got to find this girl." And so I remember he was like, "These are the addresses that I have." And I don't know, but anyways, I didn't find her, okay, because she was good. She stayed 10 steps ahead because, like, she kind of went incognito. If they couldn't find her, I guess they thought I could go into neighborhoods, but she always lived in really like nice areas. She was using different last names and stuff, and um with the way that she was running, and when I started pulling her history and stuff and seeing how she was using them different last names, I believe they was trying to find that girl to do something to her. I'm so glad that I didn't. I don't know though, because that was an attorney's office that called me. That guy from Boston did have a private investigative company, but he also was had a company where he was like a bodyguard. Like they were bodyguards for like a lot of the top celebrities and politicians and stuff. So but anyways, that guy, he lives on a his house sits on a because he always send me pictures. He hadn't sent me any in a few months, but he always send me pictures. And I told him I like dolphins. I was like, "I love dolphins and I love whales." And he was like, "Well, my house sits you can see the back of the ocean from my house." And so he sent me a video of where some whales came up to their boat, because he was like, "I get out on my boat all the time. You ever in the Boston area, I'll take you out there." And he was like, "The whales always come up." And he sent me a video of the whales coming up to their boats, and these whales were like talking to I mean, it seemed like they were just talking to them. I thought that was so freaking awesome. He was like, "They do that all the time when we're out there. They come up to the boat and we stop, and whatever it is. Their boats are big though, and we stop and we sit there." And it was like they were just trying to they was making noises, just trying to talk to them and all of that. I was like, that's just so perfect. I should start a bounty hunter company in Memphis because the streets. Well, I'm actually a bail bondsman. I could. I could do it, but nah. Um, I that, and trust me, you know what? When I was going over, I haven't gone over there and written bonds in a long time because I'd be real busy. But when I was going over there and writing bonds and stuff, it was cool to meet different families um and be able to help them. And I want to say this because then I just really just started doing writing bonds and stuff for like my family when they took their pissy asses to jail, and their friends or whatever they call, cuz such and such in jail, whatever. But I had the opportunity to see, because even before that particular guy, I had worked in his back office learning the bail bonding business. And I saw how families be in distress when their loved ones are in jail. These young folks ought to be ashamed of themselves with the stuff that they put their families through. Like one of the last ones I had written was for my cousin with his stupid ass. And now he done been in jail his whole damn life with his old ass. What's up, I am she Johnson? He done been in jail his whole damn life. And my auntie had to come over there, and of course they paid their money, but my auntie don't have a job, so her house is paid for. So the what's up, the hitter? So the guy that owned the bonding company was like, well, it's your aunt. She could put her house up. I have to call my cousin, like the ones that have had their mothers and their grandmothers and stuff to put their houses up. I call them every month and tell them, have you gone over there and paid? Because they will put a lien on the house until all the fees are paid, right? And so and or until they go to court, continuously go to court, and then they'll release it, but not until finish going to court. They make sure to go to court every time they're supposed to go, and they pay all the fees. And then once they do that, I can go over there. If I write the bond, I make sure though, I take those particularly personally because when you got family members and stuff that have worked hard to pay for their houses, you got to be a sorry, pitiful piece of shit to not go to court and to not pay the fees. You know what I mean? Like, I love my kids, but I don't think I'm gonna put no house up for them. Okay. If they did it. Now, if they didn't do it, I might do it. Okay. So that I can get my girls out and we could fight this. But a lot of these kids or adults know that they're guilty. Your family put their house up, and I have to say, the guy that owns the bonding company, he don't want grandmama and mama's houses. He don't. There are some bonding company owners that's dirty. You don't go and pay those fees. They be waiting, especially if the house is nice. Okay. But the guy, my friend, he's not like that. He want to give you every opportunity. But I stay on when I've written bonds for people that have put their families have had to put their houses up. I call them every month. Did you go pay your fee? Did you go pay your fee? Make sure you pay that fee. Finish paying your fees. Make sure you go to court so I can go there and release that house after you finish paying your fees and stuff. So the bonding company, I go over there and release it. The bonding company take the lien off of it. But you got to be sorry for somebody to put their neck out there. This is their house that they paid for, and you won't take your sorry pissy ass to court or go get you a damn job so you can pay the fees and let the bonding company take your mama and your grandmama's house. Stuff like that get on my nerves. So I be calling my cousin every month, get your ass down there and pay that fee, your monthly fee. Because I put him on a monthly fee because I know he's sorry. Okay. I know he's sorry. Instead of making him pay every week, I said, I'm going to spread it out. You come and pay $200 every month until the fee is paid off so I can go over there and release Ain't Over's house. I ain't, cuz I'm going to go there and pay it. And he got his piss ass back in jail. Woo. Now my auntie having to pay the fee. You see what I'm talking about? So that I can go over there and release her house. Y'all, they don't do right. They don't do right. I ain't gonna let him take a house. I'm not. I told him, I said, listen, my auntie on a fixed income. So she gonna pay it off. Okay, I don't want a house, Tamara. He's a nice guy. I said, okay. And when she finished paying it, I'm gonna go over there and release it and have them take that lien off of it. Y'all hit the like button. We just talking. Also, y'all, when y'all sign up for these bonds, y'all make sure that the person has a, is responsible and gonna pay those monthly fees. If not, the bonding company is going to sue you and garnish your check. She also says, I wouldn't be able to put my house up. Let's look at another. Well, you can't put it up. The only way a person can put a house up is if it's paid for. It's got to be paid for, and they got to have the title to the house. And also the house has to be equal to the amount of the bond in case sorry ass don't show up for court and try to jump bail. The bonding company got to be able to put the house on the market, take the house, put it on the market. And if it's let's just say if it's a $500,000 bond, we look up the value of the house. If the house is worth 100,000, you can't put that house up. The bonding company got to be able to recoup the money that pissy ass who want to jump bail. If he want to jump bail, the bonding company got to be able to put that house up for 500,000 and get their money back. And a house that's valued at 100,000 ain't gonna get them their money back. And don't y'all know some kids have their mamas and stuff to put their houses up and won't show up for court? Y'all, what kind of world do we live in? What kind of world do we live in? What's up, TB21? I didn't see you in here. What's going on? That hitter, TB21. Too much. I ain't never been to jail or I know that's right. I know that's right. I always tell these kids, it's always the kids that they shouldn't hang with kids that are stay in trouble, because it's always the good kids that get caught up. That's just trying to hang. That's just trying to be in the good, in the in crowd. They always get caught up. Always. What's up? Straight to the point. She said she up in here working and listening. He said, I'm just sitting over here mad at pissy. I have to talk about them. I have to talk about them when they don't do right. Pissy ass just won't act right. Have your folks to put their house up and then won't take your pissy ass to court. Yeah, it's a nice morning. I promise you, it is. It's a nice morning. And like I said, I normally it's 61. The weather is going up some. Let me see what it's gonna be like. It might already be going up. Hold on, let me see, y'all. Oh, it's 68. And it's gonna get up to 78. Now that's my kind of weather. Not necessarily the 68, but the 78 is definitely my weather. Now I could do 68 because it's not cold, but 78, like 70 to 79, I wish it could be like that all year round. That is so my type of weather. She said, feels good outside. Fixing me some coffee now. I'm to girl. That's what I've been sitting here doing, drinking my coffee. Hey, Cinderoni Television. The Alabama Hill said, I know cats like that breaking their mama couch, sleeping on the sofa. Okay. Okay, I'm telling you. At some point, it seems like to me adults should want to have the mindset to have some type of stability. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Even if you are a young adult. He said, Tam, did you watch the WNBA? No, I didn't watch the WNBA game yesterday. What was I doing yesterday? I was doing something else. I'm telling you, go get your own. It makes you feel better when you have your own stuff, you know? And I think it ain't nothing like if you've been a pissy ass your whole life and then you make up your mind. Listen, I don't want to be a pissy ass no more. I want to start doing something for myself, you know what I mean, without having to depend on somebody else. I bet that's the best feeling in the world. You get to think about now I ain't no I ain't, I'm starting not to be a pissy ass. I'm starting to, be a man or a woman. That's empowering. It could be done because you got folks out here, you got young adults out here in their early 20s and stuff that's got their own. They work hard, they hustle. And they ain't out here killing nobody to have it either. Mom Deuce wasn't playing that was out of the house by 17. Independent is healthy. Being too independent is unhealthy. Straight, I watched it, but watched the whole season and went. I used to love to look at the NBA, but now they so soft. Hey, Ebony. Now they're so soft. I don't look at the NBA no more. They be crying when they get fouled. Ooh, they fouled me out. Ooh, crying and stuff. I don't wearing dresses and stuff to the game. I don't have time for no mess like that. I used to love to look at the NBA when Shaq and Kobe, Eddie Jones, and Nick Van Exel were my two favorite players. That's when they was really playing basketball. Jason Williams and Chris Webber and Chris Webber was so handsome. He had a gorgeous smile. He was so chocolate and that smile was just so awesome. And who else? Were some of my Jason Williams. I didn't like Charles Barkley. Karl Malone. Um, what was the white guy name that played for the Utah Jazz? He was off the chain. Jordan was okay. I like Scottie Pippen better than I like Jordan. I don't think Pippen got he I mean, I don't think Jordan could have been who he was without Pippen and Rodman. there to assist him. Girl, I had a moment thinking about Chris Webber and that smile. Ugh, all that chocolatey skin. The women compete harder as him. I'm sure the women do compete harder. Was it John Stockton? Was it John Stockton? Was you sure? Let me see. Let me because I was thinking his name because he became a coach. No, it wasn't him. Um, it might have been John Stockton. It was him. You're right. It was him. It was him. You're right, T Mac. It was him. That white boy could play. I promise you, he could play. And that was Steve Nash too. Let me look at Steve Nash. That might be who I'm thinking about. Both of them could play, but I believe it was John Stockton. Y'all, that's when NBA was. I used to, oh my God, it was the bomb. Yeah, Steve Nash played for the Jazz. Asia Wilson took MVP again. It's some legit female ballers. I'm gonna start having to look at that. Do Memphis got a female team? I don't think so. I don't think Memphis has a pro team. I know we got the Tigers. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I love the University of Memphis basketball. I love I love it. That be I'm telling you, people love to go see the U of M play. Nash played for the Suns too. Nick Van Exel was a hard point guard. Eddie Jones was very underrated. Eddie Jones was the man. Eddie Jones was the man. He got overshadowed by Kobe Bryant, but Eddie Jones was the man. He was my favorite player. I used to go to most of the women's and men's U of M basketball games. 2010, 2014. Steve Nash played for the Suns and the Mavs. I didn't like Charles Barkley, but I mean, he put on a good show. He always crying and stuff. He didn't want nobody to. He wanted to fight every time he got fouled. He ready to fight everybody. I remember that time he got into a fight with Shaq, and I think he flipped Shaq. I think he flipped him. See, I used to love to watch them fight. They weren't swinging like little girls and stuff. Remember when Shaq and Dennis Rodman used to get into it because Shaq said Dennis was always grabbing his crotch. Shaq said Dennis was always grabbing his crotch. Dennis used to always mess with Shaq to try to throw him off his game. Was he in his prime? I thought really, because Eddie ended up coming to Memphis. He played in Memphis. Hmm. Nick Van Exel was a good point guard. Nick Van Exel was hard. He was a good point guard. Hey, the Black Barbie. Yeah, those were the good old times. Those were the good old times. Um, Rasheed Wallace, um, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, mhm, Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley used to always get into a fight. Grant Hill. He said them old Detroit Pistons look like they came straight from the steel mill to play ball. Real men. I used to love to see Grant Hill and them play. But the Lakers was the dream team, and they had Shaq, Kobe, Nick Van Exel, and Eddie Jones. When they broke up that dynamic, I was hurt. I was hurt. Because they be crying like little girls now. Ooh, running to the referee point. Ooh, he pushed me down on the floor and I broke my nail. That's why I don't look at it no more. Hmm. I used to like that. The Bulls coach. He used to sit there with his legs crossed. He never got mad. He would just be sitting there. What was his name? Um, the Bulls coach. Remember, he was the calmest coach we ever seen. He just be sitting there with his legs crossed. Phil Jackson. Yep. That man had to have been on some type of something that had him sedated. I've never seen a coach that that calm. They said Shiesty is locked back up. Is that what Stan G was talking about? Somebody snitched on Shiesty? His nickname was the Zen Master. Okay. See, I like talking about that type of basketball. They said probation violation the around felons. But his occupation is he's a rapper, so he's definitely gonna be around felons. But was that a stipulation that he couldn't be around felons? Said Dirk from the Mavericks was my vanilla ice, was my vanilla boyfriend. Let's see, Dirk from the I'm gonna see. I like the guy from the Mavericks. His name was what was his name? He was so handsome. Um, oh my God. What was that guy name that played for the Mavericks? He was a black guy. He kind of looked like Alan Payne. I cannot think of his name. Cloud up, do be capping. What is Pooh Shiesty's real name? I could look and see right quick. What is that guy's name? His name was I can't think of his name. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna have to look. Not Lontrell Williams. This guy was so handsome. Um, Let me see. Former stars for the Dallas Mavericks. Uh, Jason Kidd was a star. Jason Kidd was handsome, but he liked to put his hands on women. Let's see. I got to find that dude's name. Maybe he wasn't a star. Maybe he was just cute. But I think he was a star. I cannot believe. Yes, Jim Jackson. That was him. Jim Jackson. That was him. I was looking for him. Jim Jackson. That was him. Jim Jackson was so fine. Mm-hmm. I think they say he's on Fox Sports now. Oh Lord. He dated Toni Braxton at one time. Oh yeah, I'm looking at something. Look at him, y'all. He's still fine. Shit. This is him right here.
Okay. I mean, this is, the crowd is going off, the officials.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm in the league now. You know what I mean?
I'm in
And
the league.
I'm in the league, and against the Rockets. And that moment it was like, for a minute, it was a snapshot. It was moving fast, but then all of a sudden it just stopped. And I was like, all right, now it's time to play. But it took me a minute. I
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all who one of my favorite players was. And y'all gonna be surprised when I show y'all. He was my favorite player, and I thought he was so handsome. And I used to love to see him play. Oh Lord Jesus. I don't know why I like that man so much. Cause he sure is not handsome. Said no, it was Clyde Drexler. I used to love to see Clyde Drexler play. He was handsome to me. I don't know why, because I'm looking at him now. He was definitely not handsome. Neo says the Fab Five was Jalen Rose, Jim Jackson, Chris Webber, and Juwan Howard. Yeah, and they were good in the NBA. They were good in the NBA too. Yeah, Ray Jackson was good too. Ray Jackson was really good. Ray Jackson did some movie. Was it Ray Jackson that did some movies? I think it was Ray. Yeah, why basketball ain't like it used to be? I like the University of Memphis basketball. I'm gonna start looking at the females. I'm gonna start supporting them to see if I got an interest in that. But I definitely don't have an interest in the NBA basketball anymore because they be crying when they get fouled. Ray Jackson, yeah, that was the fifth player. I don't remember Jimmy King. Hey, Anissa. Don't y'all know that some of the guys that played in the NBA back then are homeless and broke? One of the guys that played for the Milwaukee Bucks, everybody was like, they saw him working at Starbucks. So they was like, they thought he owned the Starbucks. Come to find out, and he made like almost $100 million. Come to find out, he lost all his money and he worked at Starbucks. And he said he was hoping that was some years back. He said he was hoping to be promoted to manager. All that money he made, he could have invested in a franchise. But he was like, he went, but I'm not mad at him. A lot of people have pride and stuff. Okay. A lot of these broke folks sit up talk about what they won't do. I ain't flipping no burgers. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. They rather get out and rob and steal and kill. Oh, oh, what's Pooh Shiesty's name? What's Pooh Shiesty's name? I didn't see that. He said, "Yeah, Pooh Shiesty." Now look up. What's his name? Hilda, what's Pooh Shiesty's name? I forget the name, y'all. Y'all, what's Pooh Shiesty's name? I'm gonna look up and see if he. I didn't see that. She said Hilda wants you to look up. I didn't see his comments because I was too busy looking up pictures. Y'all, what's Pooh's name? It's Jimmy King? I'll look it up and see if he violated. His name Michael Finley, or Michael Finley, or something like that. Hold on, let me see, y'all. Is his name spelled Finely? Oh, his name is Lontrell Williams. Okay, Lontrell, Lontrell Williams. Okay. Hold on. Y'all sure that that's his name? Are y'all sure that that's Pooh Shiesty's name? Lontrell. Is that how it's spelled? Okay, his name. No, Pooh Shiesty was not born in 76. I bet that's his daddy. No, he was born in 74. Mm. Mm. It's spelled with two L's. He was born. Okay, so he was born the one born in 99. Then, hold on. No, he not back in there. Not that I can see. And he ain't in there. Tequila. He's not in there that I can see. Now, if they just got him, they might be still processing him. They don't have to be pretty boy Floyd. I like dudes that are I like masculine dudes um that know how to take care of themselves. That's what I like. They ain't got no bitch ass characteristics. They just masculine. Like I like it when I see dudes and they go, nah, I ain't I ain't get ready to be bothered with nothing like that. They don't be in the midst of no mess. I like dudes like that. Cause to me that is definitely a trait of masculinity. It's a medium, ugly, generous, masculine for me. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to be no pretty boys because pretty boys stay in the mirror more than the women. So that to me that's scary, but definitely masculine. I like guys that know how to fix things. Um, I like. I mean, I like. I'm not saying that it would be a deal breaker, but I like tall guys. I don't know why I do. I just do, but um, they don't have to be real tall. You know what I mean? I just don't want nobody. I don't nobody my height or shorter than me. I don't mean no harm with that. That's just my preference. And what's up, big stacks? But I like masculinity. I do. Keep the sass. I'm telling you, keep the sassy fashionistas. I don't. They have more um estrogen than any woman. Trust me. Oh, Cypress said pimping in the building. I'm telling you, I be loving to see men fix on stuff. You you got some that don't even know how to change the light bulb, baby. These new lights and stuff, they different. I don't know how to change them. Ain't nobody got time for no mess like that. Mm-mm. Take the garbage out. You don't have to ask them. They already know that that's their duty to take out the garbage. Um, all that good stuff. I used to talk to this guy. We just used to talk. He's a real nice guy though. Poor guy. I had this table like this outdoors table, and it came in the box, and I was like, Lord, I don't know how to put. I can't assemble it. My nerves is bad. I was like, I don't want to assemble this. So I asked him. I said, Gary, will you assemble my table? He's, oh yeah. He would never tell me no. He say, oh yeah. So poor thing. But you know what? I give that dude a E for effort because he tried. It took him 3 days to put that table together and chairs. Okay. And it rocks to this day, the chairs. But hey, he put them together. I made sure I was like, you good? I made sure I was like, I'm getting ready to cook for you. You know, my grandma used to say, when you got them, when they work hard, you make sure you cook good for them. So it kept him coming back every day until he got that chair and that table up. Okay, because he knew I was ready to cook him a good meal. Um, Tequila says, I came home to huge snake the other day. Not one man I could call. I'm moving. I know, like, that's sad. And now, like, you don't even know what to do when a lot of the men don't know what to do either when it's a snake. Baby, I don't know. They done crawl up in a damn turtle running from the snake. But they be quick to try to shoot a human being. I'll kill that bitch ass nigga because he think he better than me. Damn sissy. So I don't deal with those kind. Okay. I don't deal with those kind. But when they said, "What, baby, you and the kids going on in the house? Let me take care of this." Because my granddaddy said, I always remember my granddaddy said when it's a lime, if you put lime around the house, it keeps the snakes away. Put some lime or lye. I think it's lime. Keeps the snakes away. Okay. I hope like hell that I have time to learn how to fix more things on my car right next summer. But see, here's the thing, Neo. You don't have to know how to fix the stuff because most men that be fixing shit be tearing shit up. Okay, us ladies are more simple than men would want to know or think. We don't care. We know y'all be fucking up shit and don't know how to fix nothing. It's the idea of trying to do it because we looking at him like, oh Lord, he don't know how to fix that. But the important thing is my man tried to fix it, and when he couldn't fix it, he had the money to call in somebody to fix it. Okay. It's knowing I ain't gonna fix this. I ain't gonna be able to fix it, but I tried. I ain't get ready to mess this up more, but I sure got the money in my pocket to call somebody in to fix it. That's how we women be wanting. We know when y'all out there up under the hood, we be standing in the window saying, look at Tyrone out there. No damn well he don't know how to fix that damn car. Okay. But hey, I like seeing men try to do something. I can't stand no man who don't like to get his hand. I ain't gonna get my hands dirty, damn sissy. I don't want you. You could at least try. It's the trying for us. I don't know why men want to think that women are so complicated. More women are just nosy and spoiled. That's it. Once men realize that we are not that complicated, because if we was, we wouldn't deal with them. We like time, not time when you bitching and stuff all the time. We like time, effort. We got to know you care. That's it. And stability. Okay. And stability. I was dating a guy. He would get on YouTube and he learned how to fix cars. And he used to upload when he would upload those videos. I would tell him, baby, please stop uploading them videos. You doing something to me uploading those videos. You turning me on so bad. I'm about to come over there and jump on you. Please just don't just block me. It turned me on to see that dude out there. He would go, baby, I'm gonna get on YouTube and learn how to do this, and that. And then he would learn, he got so good, he started going and buying cars and then fixing them and then reselling them. Oh, that turned me on so bad. Just the effort of doing it, learning how to do it, doing it, and then making a profit off of it. Oh, that by itself just gave me chills. I love seeing that man up under that hood fixing them cars. He got so good, he started showing other folks. I said, but now, baby, the game is to be sold, not told. Okay. Even though you done went on YouTube and you started, learning how to do that, what you're gonna need to do is, instead of just giving it away for free, okay, what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna have to find even you capitalizing by reselling the cars. You don't want to give, you need to charge to give away your tricks now. Cypress said black women is complicated. We're not complicated. Listen, growing up, all girls, it was just naturally known that the girl was always to be spoiled, right? Unfortunately, I guess the boys were always to be hard. I think about that now as a mother. I don't know, I don't know about that. Because boys couldn't cry. If the girls, if we, like, I know with my cousins, if we wanted something, if the girls wanted something and the boys had it and we started whining, they would always make the boys give whatever they had to us. Give it to her, give it to her, give it to her, give it to her. It was always like that. And I'm one of 3 women in my collision repair class. I need a man that loves cars now. I'm telling you that you could be a team. That's all I'm talking about. Girl, it's probably one up in there. When they go and get and obtain the skills to be able to make some money, and they ain't sitting up talking about taking no hits and killing nobody, to thinking they're gonna come up off of that creating bad karma for anybody else attached to them. No, not you. Okay. But somebody that takes the time to learn a skill that's going to make some money so that they can take care of their woman and their family. They don't think they're too good to be getting their hands dirty. Okay. And it's a lot of money in that. And let me tell you something. That guy that I told y'all put that table up for me, my friend, he talk about, I like you since I was 19, but we always stay friends. He's so respectable, right? He's a really nice guy. And I remember telling him he was working with his friend who had a collision repair company. His friend got it. It was passed down from his father. And I told him, I said, why don't you, pay close attention to him, learn the business. I don't want to do that. I want to be a preacher. I said, I ain't no need of him trying to talk to me. I ain't got time for no foolishness like that. You sitting over there doing it anyways, and you don't want to learn the business of it. That's stupid. You sitting up talking about you want to be a damn preacher, and you already over there with your damn ass up under a hood and painting shit. I just don't like stupidity. You can still be a preacher, but learn what you're doing. Learn the business of it. I guess that's why a lot of times now I'm talking to a guy now. I like him, and he's real masculine and stuff. But I think so. I'm not talking about him, but damn, you need. I'm saying, listen. So we're friends, okay? But I'm gonna tell you something. Like in the past, what I've started to see, even when I talk to guys, because you can talk to guys on the phone and get to know them. You can start out as friends. You can start out as friends with a guy, and then you start talking to him. You go, dog, he really got a winner's mind. For me, I don't cross over the line of friendship with a person unless that that person has an interest, shows an interest first, and I gotta have an interest back. Not that person got an interest and I don't. Okay. It has to be a mutual type of situation. But But in the past, like it's been deal breakers for me when I just sat on the phone talking to dudes because I like to talk on the phone. I'm one of those types. Like I'm not a texter. That's a deal breaker. Somebody to think that I'm gonna be texting them all the time. I come from old school. I like to hear the emotion in your voice. I don't want no misunderstandings. Now I will text people, especially as it relates to business. That's keeping some type of paper trail. But when it comes to like friends and stuff like that, if you can't pick up that phone and call me, don't you ever think we gonna date. Ever, ever. Cause I don't text back anyways. But it's like I text you. I didn't see it because I don't be seeing it because I'm not a texter like that. Only I get special rings when it comes to some type of business. If it's a text, like, oh, okay, that's Memphis Like Gas and Water. I know those are my clients. But other than that, I don't really read no text messages, period. And so not unless my phone's sitting on my lap and I'm forced to look at it. But for me, it's a deal breaker when people want to text all the time. They don't want to talk on the phone. That's how you get to know people. I like to get to know people. They don't have any aspirations, and whatever their goal is includes somebody else helping them to make it. Yeah, I wanna do this and that, but I'm gonna need you to come and be a partner with me. No, you ain't really got no plans. You still dependent up on somebody else. I don't deal with people like that. I'm talking about as it relates to dating. Okay. I just like people, I like guys that have a plan and don't mind working hard. I grew up around people that worked hard. I'm a hard worker. You think you gonna let a woman? I think it's a damn shame for a man to allow his woman to outwork him. That's not the man for me. And ain't got no issues with it. Anything come up, he handing it to his woman. So you ain't got no problems with overstressing her brain. That's how people start disliking their spouses and stuff. They start putting all that pressure on them to do it. Here, baby. Here, baby. While you sit your funky ass there and do nothing. I can't rock like that. Excuse me for being like that, but I just don't. I don't like seeing men do that to women. And I don't like seeing women when they have hardworking men, okay, seeing their husbands work two jobs while she sit her pissy ass at home and seeing her husband stressed out. What you trying to do? You putting him in the arms of another woman. He at work more with the women at work than he is at home. You pushing him out the door. There is no way in the world that me as a woman, I would ever want to see my man unless he had a business so I can be up there with him. My husband ain't gonna have a business and I not know the business. If something happened to him, I got to be able to continue his business. I got to be able to handle the paperwork and stuff. But there ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna have a husband and we trying to have some and bragging about, my husband worked two jobs to take care of me while you sit at home, overworking, overstressing. You gonna kill him. What kind of woman does that? Okay, I couldn't do it. No, baby, the job that pays the most? Because if he got to, and here's the thing: if he got to work two jobs, that means you might be over budgeted. Sometimes now, if you're trying to build a business, and he go, well, baby, I might have to get a second job. Well, no, I'll get a job. I'll get a job. If I got a job and we trying to do something else, there's a plan. I got to work two jobs, baby, while we're trying to buy a building or something like that. So that's a plan. Okay, we need to come up with this amount of money. My husband is going to work this job for 6 months most so that we can buy a building. After 6 months, baby, you can't work that second job no more. If you love your husband, why would you want him gone working all the time? Okay? It's not even healthy for him to be working like that. But ain't nowhere in the hell I'm not gonna have a job and watch my man work 2 jobs. That means you need to get your wife need to get a job. I knew a man like that. He worked and he still do it. He works on the first shift from 8 to 4:30. He leaves that shift and goes to a second shift and work another 8 hours. And when I asked him how you do it, I'm used to it. His wife is younger. His wife was so the customer was still his wife was younger, okay? And they said all she do is coat. Now he done went and started all over. He had a wife. And I ain't gonna even get into all that. He had a wife. He cheated on her with that wife, got that girl pregnant, that young girl. And he in his 50s working, ain't getting but 2-3 hours of sleep while the young girl out spending money and doing whatever it is she want to do. She ain't that young. She in her 30s. But my point is, why would she want? She probably got some insurance on him. Okay, she probably hoping he have a heart attack. But for those that care about their husbands, a lot of women be wanting bragging rights, and all the time you don't realize your husband is disliking you. Okay, when he working like that, he tired. When they become tired, they become sick and mean. Who would want that for a spouse that they have vowed to love? Not unless you want his ass to croak out anyways, secretly. But I would never do that. But a lot of women be wanting bragging rights about being kept, and their husbands are too weak to say to them, baby, I need you to take your ass and get a job. And you're right, that's selfishness. Because if I saw my husband working 2 jobs, first of all, I ain't gonna see him working 2 because I'm jealous. I get to thinking, why the hell you think you're gonna work 2 jobs and be away from me all day? So then I start questioning him. What you got going on? Okay, well, you work in the daytime, I work in the daytime. We're gonna be at home at night. How about that? If you gotta work, then you got to get your ass out and go work. And you ain't got them bragging rights on being a kept woman no more. You have to be a helpmate to your husband. But now the tables have changed. I don't mean y'all listen. I don't know what's going on with these women, but they take care of these men now. I can't do it. Okay. It's one thing. Let me just say this. I'm not insensitive. Right, Tequila. That's right. Because the man is the provider. So I'm not insensitive. If let's just say, you've been with somebody, it's different like you've been with somebody for a long time and things happen. He might lose his job. So if you take care, you're supposed to be able to take care of money. And that's another thing I look at. I like men that know how to save, not stingy, but they know how to save. They know how to put money away for a rainy day and all of that. So if he loses his job, he not just assed out. He got the opportunity to prepare and look for another job because he got a little safety net. He don't spend every dime he get his damn hands on. That's a red flag right there, ladies. Okay? Because a man like that stay broke and he gonna keep any woman he get with broke. Right? And so but okay, so he loses his job. So now, okay, we got a safety net, but I'm still working. So my husband has taken care of me. I don't get stressed out because he's lost his job. I done looked at this winter take care of me all this time. I mean, we still got some money stashed away. He's a worker. That would be his opportunity. Baby, you lost your job. You ain't really got nothing to worry about because we got some money stashed away. If he got some goals, okay, you can at that time get your unemployment, baby, for a few months. This is your opportunity now to start working on for 6 months, okay? While he's got his unemployment coming in, and he's still, because he's taking care of that household and he knew how to save money, we still got a safety net. So now we can start working on that business that you said that you wanted, okay? For 6 months. And let's just see how this goes. That's what people do when they're teammates. You don't get scared and stuff. He a damn winner. So when it's time for him to go get another job, he gonna go get it if he don't create his own job. Okay. And I would much rather, when you know you got somebody that's in your corner, help him to win also. Because that business that we create together, it's not just his, it's mine. It goes towards my household. It's going towards our household. I think the issues is now, as my mother and them was saying, a lot of women jump into stuff too much. They allow men to fool them and say, well, I thought you was gonna have my back. That ain't your motherfucking husband. So you helping him to build something, and he ain't married to you, ain't got no loyalty to you really, so that he can go and enjoy it with another woman. So now when he leave, you can't even take him to court and get half of it back. That ain't how it works. I think a lot of women need to start thinking instead of letting these men trick them into talking about, well, I thought you was gonna have my back. Bitch, you ain't did nothing for me to have your back. We ain't even been in this you ain't even you ain't think enough of me to give me your last name. Okay? These men don't be even thinking enough of these women to even give them their last name. And they helping them build a business that he can walk away with 100% of and go build a family with another woman. That's right. They always do. Cypress TV says, that old school love doesn't exist. Oh Lord, that old school love do exist. Listen, those guys and women that are around my age that don't think about that old school love, it's because it was never in them anyways. A lot of people didn't grow up seeing that. They grew up in unhealthy households and stuff, so they didn't see it. They saw unhealthy relationships and all of that. So they don't know how to have healthy relationships. All they really know is toxicity. Okay? Now me, I wouldn't say I'm toxic, okay, but I am pretty spoiled. And I've been working on that because I get mad when somebody ain't doing what I want them to do. But I just know that for most, I'm talking about as men, okay? I just know that most men be wanting to see their women happy. So why would they buck against what she want? I think so most men love to spoil their women. The ones that I've known do. So when you say something and he bucking against it, I feel like that means he trying to be mean and low down to you on purpose. Because most men don't buck against what their woman wants. That's how I feel. Anyways, I ain't gonna get too into that because everybody got a difference of opinion as it relates to that. I ain't got no issues with that. With folks having a difference of opinion. Anyway, y'all. It's still early. I need to go to the gym right quick and get my hour walk on at the gym. Or should I go walking over by the water? I guess I can't go now. If I say I'm going to go walk over by the water, I was getting ready to say something mean. I was going to say Orange Mountain Quip might want to try to catch me over there and do something to me, right? Tequila says, I learned that watching old episodes is unsung. Yeah, that was a joke. I ain't trying to get quit no ideas, right? Oh. Y'all notice I be liking to throw shots at Quit. Let me see something. Where's my phone at? Because I know he bees in the bushes. Lord have mercy. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Okay, y'all. She said, I'm at work till 2. It's homecoming. Diane tickled because I'm talking about Quit. I tell you. The air is so fresh out there. I think I will go walking. I carry. I'm licensed to carry. So, child, these people, now they like to try to send. Oh, don't get me started. I don't think Quit mess with women. I hadn't seen him out here messing with no women. It's nice outside. It is. It's very nice outside. Although there are some that do. Okay. Um, still exists. You just have to help school the right woman, but you have to prove and take your time with the woman getting her on board. I absolutely 100% agree. Yeah, hit that like button for me. Yeah, I've been looking at that Romika Meeks case. I knew that boy had that girl to kill her, and I felt like that there was a reason why. And it seems like the reasons why is definitely coming out. Also, you guys, I'm going to have a family on next Saturday. And they are from out of Nashville, and they're going to be talking about they're from out of Nashville, and they're going to be talking about their mother that was killed, and the man is still walking around Nashville. Okay, they covered it up, and they're gonna tell y'all why they covered it up. And that family is so hurt right now. They're so hurt. It's sad the way that they have done them. Actually, it's a small little town outside of Nashville. And in these small towns, and yeah, the man is still walking around in these small towns. It's scary because the sheriff runs the town and everybody is related. It's normally a white sheriff and everybody is related. So if his cousin walks in there and say, "This right here, good nigga, he mows my lawn, let him go," they're gonna let him go. Okay. And I'm telling you that this is similar to what had happened with this family. So we're gonna have them on to talk about what this police department has done to them. And I will say this because I ended up calling they got a small little police department. Every county has to have a sheriff's office, right? It might not be but one or two in each. About 3 police officers, one on one shift, one on the next shift, a sheriff and 2 deputies. So I ended up calling once I talked to the family, and I called the police department, and I asked for the report, and they was like, "Well," the lady was like, "Well, I'm looking in the system. When was this lady killed?" And so I told them, I said she was killed back in 2000. Well, she's not in the system. Well, we just moved into a bigger building, and I'm sure that's archived. I said a murder that is unsolved. You're trying to tell me that y'all have archived her files? I said, I thought that investigators and officers are supposed to work on the murders until they're solved. Well, yeah. And so she said, "Well, who did they say who the investigator was?" She said, "Well, I wasn't working here then." I said, I said, "Ma'am, that's besides the point. Regardless to the police department is a revolving door. Regardless to who works there, the case is supposed to stay open for the next person that comes in." I said, "They don't just dissolve cases because employees decide to come and go, right?" "Well, no." I said, "Okay." So then she said, "Well, who was the officer? Did they tell you that?" I said, "Yeah." So I gave her the officer name. Y'all, this right here gonna kill y'all. She said, "Oh, he got a job at the sheriff's department." Now, this was the small little police department. That particular detective left that small police department to go take a job at the sheriff's department. She said, "He's working at the sheriff's department now in this county, ma'am. So I think you should call the sheriff's department." I said, "Wait a minute. What agency is I said, "So this situation didn't happen. The sheriff's office was not over this case." So I said, "So you're telling me because at the time this particular detective was working for the police department, now he's working for the sheriff's office, which is a totally different agency. You're telling me to call him and ask him about the case when this police department still has the case, has jurisdiction over the case?" I said, "Are you telling me that's policy?" "Well, no, ma'am, it's not policy. Let me let you speak with the chief." I said, "Okay." It ain't about 4 people work there. So the chief get on the phone. "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good." I knew he was a Nick. "Yeah, I remember that case, but I wasn't working here. I wasn't working here. None of my staff was working here." I said, "So just because y'all were not working here, her unsolved murder is not supposed to be in the system?" "No, what we're trying to tell you is that we moved and a lot of those workers got archived and they're not in the system." I said, "So it's out of the question to even ask you then if somebody has been working on this unsolved murder, that by any murder, any statute, a murder case is to stay open until it's solved. Am I right?" Well, I'm gonna be off Monday, so I'll go over there and look in the archives myself. But they're saying it might have been a suicide. That's what they told. That's what they started trying to tell the family. The family, and see, people got to learn to keep up with paperwork. On the paperwork, they had said that it was a homicide, and then on her death certificate, because the guy, he was working for a farmer who had a lot of money that was related to the police chief at the time. He went in there. They said he told him, if y'all ain't gonna charge him, let him go. They all related, everybody related that's white in that town. And so what they don't want to do is, they know that with the way that they've handled this case, that the family can sue, right? So I told him, I said, well, a police report and anything as it relates to that investigation is a public document. I told him that I wanted to air it on my show, and we wanted to bring awareness as it relates to the family. And I said, he got pissed off at me. I said I was going to go look for it. I said, and I understand, and I'm going to wait for you to find that public document. Okay, because it's supposed to be, it's public. So the daughters was like, Miss Tamara, they've treated us so dirty. They've treated us dirty. She said, one of the detectives says, well, I mean, this case, your mother has been gone since 2000. Whatever happened is not going to bring her back. These rednecks think that they have the right to say this to this black family, as if, well, your mama been dead since 2000. Why? What matters now? What matters is the man is still walking around that small little town, y'all, and he ain't been arrested yet. Now the little boy was at home the night, but we'll talk about all that next week, because she had some kids that was there. There was a history of abuse. The kid said he would always tell her, bitch, if you leave me, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, I'm going to get me a murder charge. She said that he would always say, I've killed before. So there's another woman that he has killed, that he was working for this farmer, that they covered up her murder. The little boy said when he turned the music up, he came into the trailer. The girl said they had left. The little boy said he was 11 years old, so he was old enough to remember. Said he came in the house, turned the music up real loud. Okay. And then the next thing he know, his mama was dead. He drugged her. The girl said when they left that night, their mother was in the nightgown. He drugged their mother from where she was at into the bedroom, took off her nightgown and put her on some clothes, and put the gun in her hand and said she shot herself between the eye. Okay. So when the police got there, the little boy told them he heard him beating his mother up. And the next thing he know, his mama was dead. He said the police asked him, but did you see him? He said, no, I heard him in there beating my mama up. The next thing I know, she was dead. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to have them on to talk about how that small town in Tennessee has done them. And I know they did it like that because when I called them, they thought that they was going to be able to tell me that this detective no longer works for the police department. He works for the sheriff's office. Call him. Now he working for another different agency. The case is no longer in his hands, nor that agency hand. Okay. Anyways, y'all, that's what we're going to talk about. But next week, I got a very festive week, a very blessed week. I am so excited about everything that's happening next week. And then after it happens, I'm going to see if they're going to allow me to post pictures. But I think that I will. Okay. And I asked Diane to come to Memphis to share. It's such a trailblazing moment, I would say. I've asked her to come to Memphis to share this moment with me. Okay. Because I'm just so excited. It's so awesome. It's a dream come true. I didn't go looking for it. They came to me. Okay. Anyways, you guys. So next week, I'm gonna take my computers and stuff with me. as I said, I got to go to a conference that they're having for prosecutors and investigators. And then when I get back, my dream come true. And then I know I won't be able to talk about everything, but I'm gonna ask them if I'll be able to even talk. Hopefully, I could take pictures, and even if I take pictures and then you all see who it is, y'all will know. I won't even have to say anything because you know, anyways. I don't want to say too much. Anyways, you guys, I gotta go get my walk on. Orange Man quit. Don't leave me alone. I ain't did nothing to you. I just want to walk and be happy, okay? Or any other sicko. All right. Anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks. I love you guys. I'm gonna try to post some videos up today because all I'm gonna do is just linger around, pack up my stuff, and all of that. Okay. I love you all. Y'all have a good Saturday.